Yeah. And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Gain LinkedIn Live. I'm your host today, Zoe Kambuzi, and I'm here today with our Chief Commercial Officer and Senior Partner of Gain, the one and only Karen O'Neill. So welcome, Karen. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you? I'm calling from, it's raining in Washington, D.C. today, but other than that, off to a good start. Thanks for having me.
Oh, pleasure. So I'm in Barcelona, and it's sunny Barcelona for once recently. So I'm very happy.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
It is. So we'll leave some space for questions at the end in the chat. But today I'm actually really excited to talk to Karen because I always learn so much from our conversations. So first, tell me a bit about your background, Karen.
Likewise, I learn a lot from you too. Hi everyone, Karen O'Neill. So nice to see you. I've been in the hospitality industry my entire career, 20 plus years, really focused on hospitality technology companies. So I've worked for the big guys. I spent 15 years at Microsystems, now of course Oracle Hospitality, where I kind of earned my stripes, I like to say, and got a lot of terrific experience there, working in both the hotel and restaurant space, and obviously a bevy of products that I was involved in. I've always been involved in, not always, but most of the time I've been involved in kind of commercialization efforts and business development. But I got kind of this startup bug and ventured over to Stay in Touch, my friends at Stay in Touch, who I helped really kind of in the early years formulate their strategy for sales and marketing, and had a great time there. They're now, of course, owned by MCR Hotels, and there was a lot of great outcomes that I learned from there that I apply in my day-to-day life now. And then lastly, I spent the last almost decade with a company called No Cross, which was a smaller Indian-based company that was trying to break into the North America market, and I was their gal to do so. I was the president of Americas. We were acquired by Unifocus, backed by private equity from Riverside. So again, lots of great lessons to be learned through that whole journey. And then I was lucky enough to find Gain again, and the folks at Gain, and David and Michael, who we'll talk a little bit about too.
We will. Amazing. From startups, enterprises, regional expansion. I love it. So I know that you've also been with Gain almost from the start. So it's about 2 years now that Gain's been going. So the first question is really, what is Gain solving? Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so I did join about 18 months ago. I was trying to calculate exactly, but I was, again, lucky enough being in the hospitality tech space for so long. David Malili, who's our chairman, and Michael Cohen, our managing partner, our paths crossed over the years. We never worked kind of directly together, but we certainly knew about each other and talked about, had quick phone calls or chats and hellos at trade shows and events. And so when I heard the ideation phase that they were going through to come out with this concept of helping hospitality technology companies, helping hoteliers and travel and air and MICE, and helping the MICE space, and helping the investment community as well, that kind of synergistic spirit across those three, I was obviously very intrigued. What is Gain? Why Gain I think some people maybe think it can be a little complex because we do kind of service a lot of the industry in different facets. But really what attracted me to Gain and what I found with this group of people and individuals were that there was a lot of like-minded, entrepreneurial spirited, high pedigree of hospitality knowledge, assembling together and working together and collaborating together to really better service the hospitality industry. helping fill a void, which I think before Gain really came, before that 2 years, there were plenty of people that have put a shingle out, myself included, to, basically try to help however we could technology companies, hospitality companies, on problems that they were facing, but never kind of this collaborative spirit of assembling kind of the best of the best together. So that's really, to me, that is kind of the secret sauce of why Gain and what Gain is about.
Yeah. I love how you focused on the team there, because
Yeah.
I have to say that the team spirit is one of the most welcoming teams and super smart bunch of people that I've come into contact with. So I love that you started with that. And I
Yeah.
know that we're working with many different types of clients. So when we're talking about clients, what is the value proposition for having this team of hospitality experts, global reach?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so I think that the value proposition for Gain is multidimensional, right? So we, we cover we kind of joke 3 spaces, right? So we've got hospitality technology companies that we help. We've got hoteliers, hospitality industry in general, which could include travel and air and the MICE industry, and then there's the investment community as well. So 3 really integral, important parts, especially in today's hospitality industry, that we're assisting. So our value proposition for each is somewhat different, but I think that our focus, specifically just to talk about the hospitality technology segment or vertical, has really been helping those companies become better suppliers to the hospitality industry and to those hoteliers or to the travel space or to the MICE industry. So really helping them. So it could be with go-to-market strategies. It could be with commercialization exercises. It could be with, like my experience with No Cross, a company that is internationally focused today, looking to break into a new market, looking at competitive landscape. What does it look like? Will my messaging resonate? Those are all things that we hear on, I would say, just about a daily basis these days, from companies looking for assistance. The other area that, of course, is a hot topic for all startups, scale-ups, and not necessarily as much enterprise companies in a different light, is around the investment side of things. So how do I become investment ready? So that's it. Kind of, it evolves as the company grows. So as a startup, it's how do I become investment ready? How do I go for that pre-seed round? How much money do I need? What does this look like? Do you have any introductions or any suggestions of how you can help me? Can you work on my slide deck with me? So there's a lot of those really critical items that companies are looking to Gain for assistance with. And I think as the companies evolve, so do our services, right? So from an investment community perspective, as they're more in the scale up, maybe they're going for another round. They're looking at how to scale appropriately and what does that look like. And then as you get to the kind of enterprise clients, it could be in obviously, again, a different circumstance. Again, they could be ready for an exit. They could be looking at how do we evaluate, where we're sitting today in the marketplace, and is there opportunity for partnerships or collaboration? Is there opportunity for alignment with another company or a more bundled kind of service offering? So that's, I think, just for the first value proposition from my thing is about hospitality tech, right? I think that the second value proposition that is a really important one is around the actual hotel community and restaurants and food and beverage and travel and air, and we're continuing to grow that space. But I think for that, it's, we've really come out with a lot of audit-based assessments to help companies really kind of scorecard where they are today and help us come out with a bespoke offering to them that fits their needs. So, for example, if they are looking to understand the technology stack that their properties have out there, there was a lot of consolidation over the last 5 years in the hotel industry. Lots of brands have come together. Smaller independent companies have been absorbed by larger, and so it's not unheard of that you don't necessarily know what property technology you have in your tech stack at all of your hundreds of locations. And I think we do a really nice job of helping augment that process, helping augment the team that hotel companies have to do this, the IT team and the other teams that they have within their organization, to again, scorecard that and evaluate if there's opportunities for operation opportunities, technology opportunities, or even kind of future focused opportunities like AI and VR and other exciting initiatives and emerging technology that's coming out.
Wow. Yeah, a lot there.
A lot.
A lot. I mean, I think it's, it's one of those things as well, when you go in with a recommendation for technology, we've spoken about this, it's not just implementing the technology, is it? It's all the infrastructure around it, what the past looks like you say, the acquisitions, what's the history of the company, where are they going, what's the future going to look like in terms of new technologies. Can you think of like a use case, no need to name any names,
Sure.
that you've kind of see this play out over?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a few, but I think one in the vendor community, in the hospitality technology space, we have done work with a younger startup who has been, over the last 14 months, really evolving as a company, and we've been with them since the inception, and it's almost like our case study of the depth of our services that we can provide. So when we started, it was a small type of investment in Gain, and for Gain, a small type of investment in their company, and we really helped investment in terms of a model, not necessarily a financial investment in the company. But what we really were able to do is to set the groundwork for them and to really help with some of the foundational activities that are so necessary when you're a young, ultra competitive startup. And so as they evolved and matured in this space, so did our relationship. And so we were able to really grow with them. We've provided fractional services, which I know we're going to talk a little bit about today, because I think it's a really interesting perspective to think about when you're thinking about advisors. We have provided fractional services for them. We have provided, now we've included our Gain network even more so, and do lunch and learn series with them. We've educated our community about the power of this technology because we really believe in it. And I think that that's like kind of the gold standard of the type of impact that Gain can have, and the type of kind of relationship or partnership that we look to have with these companies and with these partners in the industry.
Right. Yeah, it's a model, that's worked and is working. I love it. So yeah, you spoke about fractional work there. So I think it is a really important issue. And I actually found a stat today that's saying that fractional or temporary business management roles, as they used to be called, have increased by 57% since 2020. So since the pandemic, this has just gone up and up. And I really think it's an amazing time for companies to lean into this type of work, because you're getting so much more than your sort of traditional consultancy with these leaders that have been around for years and years without having to employ them full time. Can you say a little bit more about that and how that works?
Can you just start going on my calls with me and you can do the pitch? No, I think you really hit the nail right on the head, right? I mean, so we all know that with the pandemic, after the pandemic, there were a lot of positions that were not replaced. And we all, in all of those facets, have been forced to do more or the same with less personnel, right? We've seen for months and months about the labor shortage, and to a certain degree, that is, I think, part of what is driving the statistic that you shared, but also what we're hearing from a lot of companies about helping augment their team with fractional level work. It is interesting to me because you are getting this expertise, right, when you choose to go with, I'll use myself as an example. If you choose to have a fractional chief revenue officer or a fractional chief commercial officer, you're getting basically my 20 years of expertise of being in that position at all of these different levels of companies and having this proven track record. And you're able to really get that for obviously a fraction of the cost, and possibly even just the timing of it, right? The fact that you may not need a full-time CRO or CCO or head of sales quite yet, because you're still evolving, you're still growing. So I think that it's a perfect way to, again, augment the sales team, augment the structure of the company without also having to carry that overhead and of having a full-time employee, so that you can put the investment money to good work that you're getting, and really, again, evolve over time. So we've seen, again, we have lots of capabilities at Gain to provide fractional services. So everything from in the C-level suite, including technologists, which I think is a little known fact, is that, in our Gain community, we have lots of very capable technology focused individuals who could easily augment as a chief technologist or as a product resource for some of these startups and scale ups that are in need.
Right. Absolutely. Fantastic. So after all that information about what we've been doing, I'd love to know what's next. Can you give us a hint of what's coming?
Yeah. So it's an exciting time, right? I think, as the company, as Gain matures, we've also been leveling up, right? So we've been leveling up in terms of our growth in our community of advisors. So we're currently 26 strong, and we're continuing to add new focused areas and expertise in those areas. I think that we're going to see in 2025 quite a lot of new individuals that come into our community and that we can leverage on projects in all three of those spaces that we spoke about. So that's one really exciting thing. And what I like about that is that, the opportunity to team up with people, yourself included. We've had a couple chances now where we're starting to work together more. And I think that is such a powerful part of Gain, is when you can have you can have people work with you collaboratively together, and you can really work off of each other. So if Zoe brings an opportunity to the table for us, and maybe it's an opportunity she otherwise doesn't necessarily have the skill set for, the power of Gain is that we can help augment that opportunity with this bench of talented resources that are only growing. So I think that's number one, I'd say, as kind of a really, really important part of the Gain kind of future. Secondly, we're also, we've kind of grown our involvement with working with these companies, which also lends itself to the type of people that have joined recently. But we're doing a lot more interesting and creative opportunities. So we're diving into the emerging technologies that are coming out, or that are out, like AI and VR and some other great technologies that are coming. And we're trying to best leverage those and ensure we have the expertise, so that if a hotel company comes to us and needs assistance, we have a bench ready to go for them. So I think that keeping an eye on the emerging tech that's coming down the space always, and being cutting edge with our resources and with our capabilities to support those technologies, is also really important. And then I think you're going to see a lot of really fun things coming. So fun things, if you were at the Gain event at High Tech this past year in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the ballpark, we had a blast. It was so much fun. It was such a great mix of the vendor community, hotelier. I mean, just a perfect mix. The who's who of hospitality was there. And I think that you're going to see that again at future events, maybe in addition to High Tech, that you'll see us really spreading our wings in and being involved in. And of course, as it relates to High Tech, stay tuned for High Tech 2025 and some exciting announcements around that. So really being that, for some of these events, really being also that that connection for companies to come together. It was really great. In addition to the party itself in Charlotte, it was really great to see such interesting sponsors align themselves with us and our activities. And I'd like to really see, and I think Michael and David, we all would really like to see that continue to expand into some other, again, creative ways that we are bringing the industry together, whether that's the space of startups, whether that's the space of, different events, but we would really like to try to, again, continue to be that glue in the industry.
That's right. Well, I saw the event all over LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Best moment of the event. Did you hit a home run?
I did do batting practice. I was the first woman up there at the plate, and I hit only like 4, but I think the pitching machine wasn't calibrated when I got up there. I just say that. Yeah, no, it was so fun. But I did take a swing at bat. Yep. I think there were some people who were hitting home runs. I mean, I better not name them, but there were some that were hitting it, like definitely played high school or college ball. So it was impressive.
Had to do cricket if it was in the UK.
Oh yeah. I think we would not be doing very well.
When you come.
Right.
So brilliant. That's great. Thank you so much, Karen. It's been a real pleasure, and I'm sure it's been super informative for anybody watching. Anybody who wants to know more about Gain and what we do, or what Karen does, or any of the team, just reach out via LinkedIn. And yeah, everybody have a great day, have a great afternoon, great evening, wherever you're tuning in from.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye.